Bonjour, join me for this perfect trip to Paris. After a long flight across the world to Paris, we knew we were hungry and decided to get some famous steak and frites. So after checking into our hotel, we got some steak and frites with their famous green sauce. Steak and frites. Our hotel had the perfect Parisian boutique feel. Perfect for a Parisian getaway. To really ensure that we enjoy this trip, we got our bearings to see where everything was located by taking the big bus tour. Though it was a cloudy day, I was utterly impressed by the breathtaking views. A tour of the city was the perfect way to start this trip, especially if this is your first day and you're not going to be here for a long time. It's like a cheap way to get to see everything all at once. The Louvre, the Opera House, and even this beautiful, delicate music. Imagine that being your background. This is the famous Seine River that goes all the way through Paris, France. Such a beautiful sight to see. This is the Louis Vuitton Hotel that will be opening up soon. The hotel was located in the famous Golden Triangle of Paris. This way we can get to everything easily. We made it back to our room and we're going to rest so we can get ready for the next day. It's going to be a lot of walking in a city like Paris to see all of the history. Euros are definitely an interesting piece of money. I always try to keep $1 or some money from different places as a keepsake. After a bit of night traveling, it's the next day and we're getting ready to go to the Louvre. This is what I decided to wear, just a simple white shirt. We were able to get a light Parisian breakfast, just some croissants and jellies and things and such. We were able to get to the 9:30 spot for the Louvre. They do open at 9, but we were in line probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So this is what it looked like when we arrived, which was such a blessing, as the Louvre does tend to pack up, especially around midday. So I would suggest going there early and of course getting your tickets in advance. The grandiose of this museum was so breathtaking and all the art was definitely my favorites to see. As a person who is definitely an art lover, I was so excited to see the Mona Lisa and different artworks, the Winged Victory and Aphrodite in person. Being able to see the Mona Lisa up close definitely lets me understand why people line up to see such a beautiful artwork. She is definitely that it girl. All the religious artwork especially just exhilarates me because it was such a time based on like spirituality and religious matters, you know, just more about the self and soul. Versus, you know, how we are today, where it's more electronics and not really getting the time to get to know oneself. Look at this beautiful artwork. This is what people did before phones and distractions. Almost like we were more intelligent without more intelligence. To think this grand museum was once someone's home. King Louis and King Henry. Imagine passing this down in your family. This artwork will forever leave an impression on me in my heart. Breathtaking, as some of these pieces are some of the first artwork in language of time, even pieces from the Bible. Amazing. After the Louvre, we decided to get a pick-me-up at the LV Cafe, trying some of these delicious pastries from the Maxine Frederique Louis Vuitton Cafe was so delicious. We tried this chocolate tower and this bitter peach cake. We also got some hot chocolate, which is a staple here in Paris, France. This was delicious. I would say it rivals some of the best chocolate that we've had since we've been on the trip. Overlooking the Seine River as the sun peeked through, this was definitely going to be memorable. As day had slipped into night, we arrived at Lulu's for our dinner reservation. This restaurant has a breathtaking view of the Eiffel Tower that is not to be missed. It's the next day. I do believe it's Thursday, and we have tickets for the Versailles Palace. We were able to get there at 9 a.m., which is the perfect time to beat the early morning rush. We headed to the Hall of Mirrors. As you can see, it's not many people there, so we really got to enjoy the luster of it all. I could imagine the lavish parties that the kings and queens must have thrown here as I sashayed through the halls, feeling like quite the princess. Not 1 inch of this palace didn't have a touch of the Beauvoir art. Being in the glorious bedroom of the late Marie Antoinette and Napoleon was amazing. While in the palace, we visited Angélique, another staple restaurant of Paris, France. They also has a famous hot chocolate, which was just as delicious as the LV hot chocolate. I can't tell you which one was my favorite because they were both equally delicious. Very close, very creamy, and perfect with the whipped cream. You must stir the whipped cream in. It's just a must. After a quick refreshment at the Angélique Cafe, we then went outside to the Versailles Palace Gardens. I must say, you cannot enjoy this whole garden without getting a golf cart. It is definitely a must to really enjoy this large grounds. As your head will be turning in each and every direction, you're going to need something to keep your feet planted. As this garden is the size of 8 football fields, it's no way that you'll be able to actually visit every site and every place and crevice in just one visit. Our first stop in the garden was where Marie Antoinette's house was. As you can see, this is where she did a lot of her, I would say, just resting and alone time. It's so beautiful, the way the river goes in between with the flowers and the butterflies and bees. This is definitely a place for a queen. I just had to take my shoes off and feel the palace grounds and just really soak up the beautiful energy that remains here to this day. It did rain while we were there, but it was such a beautiful experience to really get to feel how it must have felt during the season changes living here as a royal. We just wanted to get lost on the grounds and just see where that took us. Tonight is going to be a truly exciting experience as we get to do a boat dinner cruise on the Seine River in Paris, France. The food was phenomenal. It was actually one of my favorite meals when we were in Paris, and overlooking the Seine. It's just so beautiful. Though Paris is landlocked, they do have their water when it comes to the Seine. It almost has like a beautiful ocean sound. This morning is just one of our chill days in Paris. We just decided to get lost and walk around and see what the city has to offer. Tonight is a special night. We're going to dinner at Gigi's and then followed by a show at the infamous Crazy Horse, which I am super excited to see. We decided to sit out the terrace at Gigi's so we can get that beautiful Parisian view of the Eiffel Tower. They have the most amazing drinks, very French type of food, so I would suggest knowing what you're ordering before you order. The live music they had was exceptional. It definitely put you in the mood for the night.
for that one.
After my meal, I decided to get some dessert, some afago, which is some coffee and some ice cream. That's just a pick-me-up so that we could really enjoy the show tonight. We have made it to one of my favorite experiences ever, the Crazy Horse Show. It was absolutely crazy. We got champagne with our seats, and of course, due to obvious reasons, we couldn't videotape the girls, but I will say it's definitely a must-see and worth watch. As you can see from these two performers, they were definitely perfect and well-trained. As a dancer, it was definitely a great performance. The room was so perfect and chic. It definitely felt like I was living in Paris versus just visiting. A breathtaking view I will never forget. It's Saturday morning and we've checked into our next hotel. This hotel has the perfect view of the Eiffel Tower that makes you feel like you're right up under it. With it being Saturday, it's also the day we're visiting Montmartre, Paris, France.
Alors comment tu viens de propriété de la ville de Paris, un peu cadré. Donc je vous demande, vous êtes juste les athlètes.
Our first stop was a wine vineyard in Montmartre. This wine vineyard is the only wine vineyard in Paris, France. Such a pleasure to visit, as this wine is the only wine you can only purchase this wine at this small vineyard, which was really exceptional. With summer turning into fall, they had to cover the grapes to protect them from the birds. Though it was exceptionally beautiful to still see them peeking through the nets.
Donc les nouvelles vignes que vous avez vues tout autour, parce qu'à part les vieilles, et tout le reste, c'est les jeunes vignes. Elles, il le faut pour continuer. Les prix à l'autre.
Sobrou do primeiro lugar.
Alors, égalité.
After our tasting, they did allow us to keep our wine glasses, which was such a cute memorabilia to take home with us. After the vineyard tour, we returned to the art museum so that we can get some coffee and a little cake to balance out so we can continue walking out around through Montmartre. We visited the steps of the Sacré-Cœur, which was absolutely beautiful to oversee all of Montmartre in Paris. And walking down these Parisian streets was like a step back in time. We then went to dinner at the infamous Pink Mama to try their truffle pasta and truffle pizza, which I say is worth all the hype. I didn't get to try the tiramisu as suggested, but next time I'm definitely going to have to make sure I do that. The restaurant was absolutely breathtaking, as you can see with the glass windows as we sat on the top floor. And this drink I had was exceptional. If you do go, make sure you try this one.
That's really good. I was thinking that.
All right, get it. There we go. Smells nice.
That's right. That's right.
It is the following day and we are getting ready. I do believe today we are going to see the Arc de Triomphe and walk up the steps so we can get another beautiful view of Paris. We have made it to the Arc de Triomphe. As you can see, this building is colossal. All the architecture and detailing on this structure really doesn't do it justice on camera. As we made it up the very long flights of steps, it is still a must-see. A lot of people say that it's a lot of steps, but just brace yourself. It's not too bad. You can take stops and breaks. Nobody will mind, but it's definitely worth it. We are headed back to Surprisingly, which was my favorite eatery place, which is a burger place that we found in Paris. Just getting lost and walking the streets, we found this delicious burger spot. And I mean, you can literally taste that these are like grass-fed burgers, and the sauce, Mac sauce, has nothing on this sauce. And then the old school Coca-Cola with the lime, and then check out this macaroni and cheese, the freshest cheese which I've ever had in my life. And I love this place in New York that has my favorite mac and cheese ever. But I will say this place definitely beat out my mac and cheese that I love in New York. I mean, look at this, watch. Oh my gosh, it was just so good. Definitely have to try it. Now we are picking up a petite bottle of red wine so that we can share a cup of wine in a Paris garden like the Parisians do. I did find this pistachio cream that I had to take home with me to try with some food when I get home. You know, cooking with Julia Rice never stops because you never stop eating. But this grocery store was so cute, and then we went souvenir shopping for family and finally made it to the park. This is the Tuileries Gardens, which was actually closed down still due to the Olympics, but we found another garden down the street, which was really good because I wanted to visit this one as well. So this is us just chilling, hanging out, and we did get to get a place on the actual garden, which was really beautiful because this is definitely something the Parisians like to do themselves, just hang out and enjoy the day. It's a lot of fresh air. I feel like it was in Paris. Very beautiful. After getting lost in the city and feeling like a true Parisian, we headed to the pharmacy to pick up some healthy, clean skincare. So if you do make it to France, make sure you pick up some of their skincare. I love their Claudel products, and I believe this is Nuxe. I do love their stuff as well. Very good products. We made it back to our room as this is the last night that we're here. And we just wanted to enjoy that last moment of the hotel. What a beautiful way to end off the trip with a beautiful sunset in Paris. Just enjoying this view. For our last night here, we ended up at this popular restaurant Confrère, which is definitely by accident as it was just around the corner from our hotel, but was a perfect way to end our Paris trip. Definitely wanted to try some snails while I was in Paris.
It's so sad. That's why I'm glad I only got the 6.
Got your full piece though.
and one last sparkling night. Au revoir till next time.